Hi, I'm Katie McGee, and we are coming to you live from the broadcast studio here at GBTA Convention 2025. I am very honored to be joined right now by Tom Romary, the co-founder and CEO of BizTrip.AI. Tom, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much. It's exciting to be back at GBTA since 2020, pre-COVID.
Welcome back. It's nice to have you, and you're having a very big week because BizTrip.AI just announced its launch this week right here at convention. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
That must feel pretty exciting.
It is an exciting time.
And can you give us a brief overview of what BizTrip.AI is all about?
Sure, and we are announcing today the launch of our company, although we've been around since late 2024. We raised $1 million from AI fund out of Palo Alto. But what we are is a personal travel assistant that's powered by machine learning and artificial intelligence that essentially delivers personalized, relevant travel options for your business travel. And obviously corporate travel is a lot more complex than personal travel, but we're trying to deliver a leisure travel, personal travel experience in the business travel context. And it's really moving away from the search bar and endless searches to find what you're looking for and relying on a trusted, intelligent source that knows your preferences and can deliver a short list of hotel options and flight options and ground transportation options based on what you like. And even within a company where there might be 4,000, 5,000 employees working and traveling, they all have different preferences, all under the same policy, but they each have unique preferences. And so we try to tune into that.
That sounds fantastic. Now, how are companies expected to save using BizTrip.AI?
Yeah, great question. So as we talked about earlier, Katie, I was the founder of YAPTA, which stood for Your Amazing Personal Travel Assistant back in 2006. And YAPTA became the leading price tracking reshopping engine for the industry. In fact, it created an industry standard and almost a requirement in most of the RFPs that went out on corporate travel when they were looking for a new TMC and a new solution, a new tech stack. And what YAPTA did so well, and it was purchased in 2019 by Coupa Software, was to alert you when you could rebook at a lower rate, because price volatility for perishable inventory is quite large. And 45, 50% of the time, there is a price drop on your airfare or your hotel or your ground transportation. And so if you know you're going on that trip and you can rebook it at a lower rate, the corporations saved up to 4%. And if they realized all the opportunities and rebooked, maybe you booked at 600 and the price dropped to 400, same seat, under the guaranteed airfare rules of the airlines, you could rebook at that lower rate and save your company $200, and it didn't change the experience for you. That saved about 4%. We think with now AI and machine learning, combining price tracking and reshopping with the automation of travel planning and itinerary management, busy executives spend, and the data and the research says, between 8 and 12 hours for every trip they plan and every itinerary they manage and filing expense reports. And that's a lot of time. That's a full business day. Now, we were surprised by that data that was reported by Skift, and it was Priceline for Business. But even if it's 5 hours, if you look at a $1.6 trillion industry, average trip price globally is $1,000, closer to $2,000 in the US. But then you're looking at 1.6 billion trips multiplied by 10 hours. That's 16 billion hours at $100 an hour. You're back in the $1 trillion. And we think that through a better experience, we can save busy executives time. Lawyers, consultants, C-level, doesn't matter, VP, it doesn't really matter what level. Taking time to plan travel shouldn't be that hard. And when a lot of the tech stacks out there are older. They were good in their day, but 25-year tech stacks. We think that we can bring agentic AI into an industry that's search bar driven and replace it with chat. Have an intelligent conversation where your personal assistant asks you a question to clarify the purpose of your trip, has access to your calendar, knows you need to be in London Monday at 6 p.m. and asks, do you want to arrive Monday or do you want to get in over the weekend to adjust the time zone? That will narrow your choices right off the bat, as opposed to you combing through 300 flight options. It's, Katie, here's the 3 that make sense. Yeah. And because we know you're loyal to United, we know that you like to fly nonstop into London out of JFK, I think you're New York area.
Yeah.
But that's the idea, is really narrowing down those choices and saving you time. And then what that does is it improves compliance, because today you have a 20 to 25% leakage rate in most programs, where business travelers go out and they'll search on Kayak, or they'll search on their favorite airline site or hotel site and book on their own. Mm-hmm. And they might even think they're saving the company money because they find a really cheap fare. Well, it's non-changeable, non-refundable. And invariably, your business plans change, meetings move, and you have to eat the ticket and buy another one last minute. You end up costing your company more, and they don't know about it until you file the expense report. So they don't even have visibility to it. And that even can be a safety issue if your company doesn't know like where you are, and something happens, like we don't know what hotel he or she is staying in. So anyway, we're trying to help corporations save money. We think we can save an additional 4% in time savings, as well as ensuring that the employee traveler takes advantage of their corporate fares and stays in program and doesn't go outside program. And ultimately, we're not replacing TMCs or online booking tools, we're working with them. We want to be the tech stack that is this gold standard, so to speak, the IBM. You never got fired for choosing IBM back in the 80s or 70s. We want to be the agentic AI standard for chat, and we'll work with any number of OBTs and travel management companies. In fact, today we're announcing our first enterprise customer, Moderna, and they have about 4,000 traveling employees. And we're also announcing our first TMC partner in Kane Travel, based here in Denver. They have hundreds of clients, and they plan to expose them to our chat-based solution, and it'll work within their solution. So, we're kind of Switzerland. We just want people to consume our tech.
I love it. You're coming out of the gate really hot, a lot of great ideas. Have there been any early adopters to this technology? I know you mentioned some early partners here.
Yeah, the early adopters were our own investors, AI fund, one of my co-founders. I've got great co-founders. So our CTO, Scott Persinger, longtime AI, as well as full tech stack developer. And then Andrew Ng from the AI fund, he loved this idea because it's a vertical application of agentic AI, LLMs. And we also do a lot of machine learning. The machine learning is analyzing the spend data, because you might tell us certain preferences, and then we have access to the history, and we know, okay, this is exactly what he or she wants. But between Andrew and Scott, really, Andrew has a number of companies as well that are AI companies that were early adopters and used it and really helped refine the prototype. Moderna will be the first enterprise customer, but we're not starting with all their employees. We're starting with a group, and they're already using it. And Jennifer Steinke, who is their travel manager, who's very tech forward, she's quite visionary herself. She has been chasing AI for Moderna for quite a while, and the company, the way I look at it is AI is strategic to Moderna across everything they're trying to innovate in medicine. And that's what they do. They innovate medicines. But I wouldn't say corporate travel, why important to their business, is strategic. In fact, most of our customers, corporate travel isn't strategic to what they do, but if we can save them, between 7 and 8% a year, it becomes important to them. The CFO likes that, but it's highly strategic to the TMCs. The TMCs know this is transformational, and if they don't get on the bus, they know it's already hard to hire good people to have 24/7 coverage. But so I would say the early adopters are really Kane Travel and Moderna and the employees who use it. But we're using this as an opportunity to learn everything we can about what's working well, what isn't, and really nail it. Because beyond Moderna, we already have a dozen of clients that are getting in line and want to work with us. But we don't want to roll it out until it's commercial grade, which we feel it is for Moderna. But we're bringing more customers on once we iron out these wrinkles.
Huge week for you, huge week for BizTrip.AI. Congratulations, Tom.
Thank you
so much for stopping by to talk to us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. Again, my name is Katie McGee, and we are coming to you live from the broadcast studio right here at GBTA Convention 2025. Thanks for watching.